helpful. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jennifer Reed. I'm the director of Bridgewater State University Senior College. Welcome to our second faculty showcase session for our winter-spring semester. So thrilled to have you all here today. This session is being recorded and will be later posted on our YouTube page. So if you have a friend or a neighbor or your cousin in Nebraska, you can certainly share the YouTube channel with them to give them a sense of what senior college is all about. So today's session will involve me giving a little bit of a background about what senior college is. I know I'm looking across here at my squares, and I think almost all of you know what senior college is. So I'm going to be very brief in my words about that, and refer people to watch the other first session if they want a little bit more detail about what senior college actually is. And then we will jump directly to our faculty showcase, which will be an opportunity for our instructors to share with you a little bit about themselves and their background, who they are, how they came to senior college, and then they can share what you can expect to learn in their course or courses. So some of them offer a few courses. So senior college is a lifelong learning program for older adults. Most of our folks are over age 50, and most of our members are somewhere in their 60s and 70s and early 80s. But anyone can join. We don't check your age at the door, and we are welcoming of anyone that wants to participate is more than welcome to. Lifelong learning in a non-credit environment means that our members experience short-term classes. Most classes are about 6 weeks long. They're learning for learning's sake. They're fun. There's no tests. There's no grades. There's no term papers. There's no pop quizzes, anything like that. But some of our classes do have outside of class materials or readings that will enhance your learning. So you'll have to look at our course catalog, and Elise will put in the chat a link to our website that has the full course catalog and the quick schedule. She'll put that there so that if obviously if you take a historical fiction course that involves reading 4 books, then your learning will be enhanced by reading the books in the course. But a lot of our classes courses don't have any outside expectations of you. So you just come to class and enjoy the learning while you're in the course. We have classes that are offered via Zoom. So if you made it here today, then you already know how to Zoom and be in a Zoom class. It's basically just like this, with an instructor leading your learning in this virtual environment. And if you are interested, you could also take in-person classes. We've been back since COVID, and we're really focusing on building the in-person slate of courses. So we've added quite a bit more than we had last semester, and we have courses now at Bridgewater, and we have them at the Senior Center here in Bridgewater, the Public Library in Bridgewater, and also we have our first ever class here on the campus of Bridgewater State University, which we're so excited about. It's a hands-on technology course on Saturdays. So the campus is quiet. You'll be able to find easy parking. You'll be able to get to the location, fairly easily, and we'll be here to kind of guide you through that whole process if you're interested in that course. And then we also have classes at Plymouth Center for Active Learning. They're a great partner. We have lots of members from Plymouth, and we have courses at BSU Attleboro, which is co-located with Bristol Community College. And then we're really excited, we're brand new. We have courses now in the town of Easton. So if you are nearby to that area, check those out. It's at Frothingham Hall in partnership with their Senior Center Council on Aging. So we're excited about that. If you join senior college, we have a membership fee of $85 per semester. You can take as many classes as you like. For that one fee, that makes us the most affordable lifelong learning program that I've heard about at all. So it's a unique model. And if you need a scholarship, you just have to email me and ask for one. Elise will put my email address in the chat. And if you are over 90 or over, you can have a free lifetime membership. Or if you have a friend or a parent or a relative who falls into that category, you can send them my way as well. Another benefit of your membership is you get access to all the amenities here at the university. So if you physically live nearby, you can come and use the fitness center, the library, technology services. We have a pool. You can come to our special events. You can get a parking sticker for free. So look for more information from me on that as we move along in the semester. If you've joined senior college, you'll have access to that as well. We also offer a video on demand library for our virtual courses that are recorded. Some courses are recorded, not all of them are, but the ones that are recorded go into the special library. So our members have access to view the courses later. So if you're busy, babysitting, or you have a doctor's appointment, you can go back later and look at that recording. So that's a nice benefit as well. The only thing that we ask of you, aside from enjoying yourself and having a great time in senior college, is we ask you to spread the word, because we don't have a marketing budget. We really are doing this on a shoestring. Luckily, we're very well supported by the university, but we don't have a lot of discretionary income to spend on marketing campaigns. So we ask you to just tell your friends, keep at them. Sometimes it takes a couple semesters. I said recently, I had a woman call me last semester and she said, my friend has been bugging me for 2 years about this senior college. Can you just sign me up? And I'm like, yes, I will gladly sign you up. And sure enough, she ended up joining and having a great time, and she's back this semester. So really just stay on your friends, family, but tell people too that live outside of this area. So like cousins, I'm sort of kidding when I say your cousin in Nebraska, but we have members now from South Carolina, Florida, I think New York. So please go ahead and tell people that live beyond our geographic area here in Massachusetts. You can register on our website. You can pay online. We have a secure way of putting in a credit card or a check payment online, but you can also register the old-fashioned way over the phone, and you can mail me a check, or you could drop me off a check, or I could meet you in town for a check, whatever is easiest for you. So as we move along today in the event, please feel free to write in the chat. Actually, it'd be really great right now if you could write in the chat your name and where you're from, and maybe just one of the courses that you're interested in or excited to hear about this semester. That just gives us a sense of who's here in the Zoom space with us today. Elise, did I miss anything important? No, okay, good. All right, so again, the prompt for our instructors, thank you for being here, is to introduce yourself, let us know who you are, and then also share with us a bit about what our members can expect to learn in your class, and maybe just a bit about like how will the learning happen? Is it a discussion-based course? Is it a lecture with a Q&A at the end, or what have you? That would be super helpful. So today we're going to get started first with Bonnie Tate, and then we'll go next to Boriana. So welcome to senior college, Bonnie. We're thrilled to have you.
All right, let me just make sure my video pops on. Sometimes I have a hard time with my internet bandwidth. So my name is Bonnie Tate, and I will be teaching Introduction to Birding. I live in Easton, Mass, so I didn't know you offered classes here, because it's literally, Frothingham is about 3 miles down the road from me. I've been a scientist for many years, and I just recently semi-retired, and so I've taught science, biology, chemistry, physics, college to middle school, and I've been a birder for the last 15 years and only recently jumped into wildlife photography as well. And you might be able to see some of my photos behind me. I have a screech owl, a barn owl, and a snowy owl over there. So I really enjoy that. In my presentation, which is going to focus mostly on birding, just to help represent the birds, I'm also just going to be using my own photography, so I don't have to worry about getting permission. And 99% of that's going to be taken in Massachusetts. The course itself is for beginner birders, but if you're an intermediate or even an expert birder, you should be able to definitely get something out of it as well, especially with question and answers. So the topics, basically why I bird, and we're going to start off with bird watching tools, something from as simple as binoculars, field guides, and really, very important now are websites and apps to download on your phone, because I use those all the time. We'll be talking about Krillin ID and eBird, and then we're going to jump right into bird anatomy. So I'm not going to really teach it like an ornithology, but in order to be able to talk about identifying parts of a bird, we kind of need to know a little bit about the bird anatomy on the outside, not the inside, really. Then we'll go into major bird groups and examples, then the best way to identify birds, common birds in Massachusetts by sight and by sound, migration, which is very cool, and bird watching through the seasons. I actually just got back from finding a tufted duck on Lake Pearl in Rentham, and they are almost never seen in North America. So it's always pretty cool to find something like that. And obviously other birders as well kind of identified it. Avian vagrancy and rare bird alert. So what might be in Massachusetts that's not usually here, like that tufted duck. I don't know if anybody heard about the Steller sea eagle that was here the end of last year. The last thing we're going to talk about is, excuse me, my heater just turned on. The last thing we're going to talk about is citizen science and using eBird, bird clubs in your area, and Mass Audubon. And then the last class, this will be 6 classes. We're going to be doing a field trip, put all that stuff to use. It'll likely be probably in the Plymouth, Mass area, but I will poll everybody. And it's going to be early spring, which is a fantastic time for spring migration. So we should see lots of stuff. And homework-wise, we are going to be having little things of homework. So finding birds, downloading the apps. So that's about it. I hope you take the course. Should be a lot of fun.
Bonnie, I am so excited. We did have a birding class a couple years ago, so it was very popular. I'm so excited as someone who took up birding in a, during the pandemic, because I was sitting at my home office looking out my front window, and my what do you call it when you there's like you see a certain bird and that inspires you to be like, what is that? And so is there like a phrase for that? Like your
curiosity. I don't know. I do that all the time because I'm a researcher by trade. So, that's what my doctorate's in. But
mine was a scarlet tanager.
Beautiful.
Like I had started just like identifying birds, and then I saw that and I was like, what the heck is that? And it was like the most exciting moment in my life. I'm sure it's probably fairly basic, but I think it's a sort of rare-ish bird that I saw in my yard. It was so exciting.
I think since the pandemic, people have coined the term ornithotherapy.
Yes.
Because getting outside into nature, etc., it's excellent for the brain.
Yeah.
Doing bird songs is a challenge for me because I'm slightly tone deaf, but that in itself, just to keep that memory going, is awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited, and I love that we have the in-person component to your course as well. I think that'll be really fun, and I hope folks go ahead and sign up. So thank you so much, Bonnie. I know you do have to jump off, I think, early, so thanks for being with us. And if any questions come up, I'll let you know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Nice to see everybody.
Thank you. Okay, Boriana, welcome.
Thank you, Jen. Hello, everyone. My name is Boriana Mariencheva, and I'm a professor of biology in Bridgewater State University. This is my first year with the senior college, and I'll be offering a Zoom-based course on Monday night at 5:30, focusing on HIV and AIDS. The formal title of the course is HIV/AIDS, Knowing is Everything. The idea for the title comes from the fact that in the 21st century, in 2023, we really can prevent HIV. And despite the fact that it is still a deadly virus, science and medicine has advanced tremendously over the last several decades, allowing us to set realistic goals to eradicate HIV from US and the world. The target year for US is 2035, And actually, close to the end of 22, President Biden just announced a new revised plan for that. I plan to offer short lectures covering basic knowledge about the biology of HIV, as well as to discuss many societal issues. No prior knowledge of any science is expected. Currently, I'm teaching HIV and Society second-year seminar on campus, as well as upper elective in HIV biology. HIV is very fascinating topic scientifically and very sticky topic socially and sometimes politically. So my intention is to offer you a short overview of a series of topics, gauge any special interests, and adapt the delivery of the material depending on the specific interests of the individuals present in the course. By training, I'm molecular virologist and have worked with herpes simplex virus type 1, the one that gives us the cold sore, as well as with bacterial virus with the super fancy name bacteriophage T7. I will try my best to compare HIV to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, because like it or not, we all have experience with that. And actually, I have had many people telling me that if I see that picture with the spikes once more on TV, I'll turn the TV off. So I will stop here and with the statement that science is a great societal asset, and one of my passions is to promote science and to convince as many people as I can that it indeed has tremendously positive impact on our life, and that is my motivation to offer the class. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Boriana. We're really excited. You know, it's the AIDS crisis, I think, was such a informative piece of so many of our coming of age and, you know, life experience as an adult. And I love that you're offering to also, you know, connect it to, you know, the pandemic that we've just experienced or are still experiencing. That's very timely and relevant. And we're really thrilled to have a scientist like yourself among us here in senior college. So thank you so much. I do know you have to jump off at some point, and you're welcome to. And if any questions come up, I'll certainly let you know directly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so up next we have Dr. Michael Krasanik. Thank you, so good to see you. And then after Mike, we'll have Scott Hokinson. So welcome, Mike, good to see you.
Good to see you, Jen, and good to see the people who have come on board here. There's some familiar faces here, Ellen and Jan and Evie, and I hope I didn't miss anyone, but there's some familiar faces out there. So it's good to see, and I'm back again teaching a senior college course, of which I think is quite important and a great addition to what Bridgewater State does. And of course, Jen has done a remarkable job, and Elise as well, who I often hear from along the way. So the course I'm going to be teaching this semester, which begins in April 5th through May 10th at the Bridgewater Library, which is our home now, I guess, now that the COVID has hopefully been reduced significantly. And it deals with the various profiles of America and Americans, and how those profiles affect politics and general government in our country. What I mean by that is that I'm sure you've heard the term e pluribus unum, from many one. We are a country of many states, many people, many regions, many religious views, many parts of the whole. But because we are many, it's important for us to take a look at at that many, and to give you some idea of how we as a nation are affected by the fact that we are not one people, one race, one religion, one educational level, one region. And so what I'm going to be doing during those 6 weeks is take various segments of American society, which is often the result of public opinion polling and just general discussion, and examine how those individual groups or sectors have an impact on defining who we are as American citizens and defining how we play politics or participate in politics and governing. As an example, early on, we're going to be looking at men and women and get some sense of how men view the American state, American politics, how women view the American state and American politics. And how those gender differences may have had an impact in 2020 and 2022 and into the future. So we'll be taking a look at that breakdown, the gender breakdown. We'll be also looking at the regional differences, north, south, coastal, heartland, industrial sectors, farming areas, and get some sense of how people with different identities, different backgrounds, different ways of earning a living, different ways of living might have an impact on their view, again, of defining what is America, defining what the political process should be, defining particular key issues. And so we'll be looking at that. As a subset, we'll be looking at rural residents, suburban residents, urban residents, and get some sense of how people living in particular different surroundings may have effect on their voting and their involvement in the political process. There's been a great deal of emphasis being placed on rural, suburban, urban Americans and America, and so we'll be looking especially at that. We'll also be looking at religion. Religion plays an important part in our society. Protestant, Catholic, Jewish, non-believers, and how those people who have a particular religious identity may impact their thinking, their values, their voting process as well. We'll be looking at the fact that the largest group that is increasing is the non-believers. Not necessarily atheists or agnostics, but people who just don't seem to have a great deal of interest in religion. So we'll take a look at that as well. We'll also look at race, which is, again, a critical ingredient in defining America and defining American politics. Whites or Caucasians, Blacks, African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, and get some sense of how racial identity may have an impact, again, on issues and values and behavior and voting patterns. Lastly, we'll try to take a look at education, whether it be grade school, high school, college, professional, and see whether there are differences between people who have various levels of involvement in the educational process. So every week we'll be looking at a different group or comparing segments within that group. Those who have had my class know that it's always a vigorous discussion among people in that class. Richard Gopin, who is the ambassador, helps me with the video aspect of it, and so there'll be some a good use of the video and screens that are there that we'll put up through links that are associated with the topic. But it's always been a function of my involvement to bring as many people into the process, have them express their views, interchange with each other, and learn by that kind of interaction. So I suspect this will be kind of an interesting topic this time because of the way we are divided and the way we see each other in various different definitions of our life and our Americanness. So with that, I'll leave it at that, and we'll hope to see you in April and part of May.
Thank you so much, Mike. So a couple of things I wanted to mention. One is that yesterday, a few of us that are here on this Zoom today participated in our Ask the Scholar speaker series with Dr. Rachel Navarre, who's a professor of political science here at Bridgewater, and she gave a talk on American populism. And I think we were all like, oh, wow, we really, we learned quite a bit from her on the topic of populism. And she spoke about sort of what's happened in America related to populism, but also throughout the whole globe. And so I think many of us will be headed to your class to be sharing our knowledge from that talk. And if anyone's interested in watching that, they can do so on our YouTube channel. I also wanted to mention that when folks see certain instructors coming back every semester or every year to senior college, that means that they're incredibly popular, as you are, Dr. Krasanik. So we're so thrilled to have you back. You've been with us since the very beginning and engage in learning in a way that helps us all develop into better citizens. And so we appreciate that so much, and we're thrilled that you're back. I did want to mention your class is at the Senior Center, not the library this semester, just couple people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, no worries. And so that starts on April 5th at the Bridgewater Senior Center. And we deliberately have our in-person classes sort of later in the semester so that folks don't have to worry, hopefully, about the weather at that point. So again, thank you so much, Mike. It's great to see you. Looking forward to this class.
It's a pleasure being here. And it's a pleasure being involved in the senior college. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Okay, so up next we have Scott. Welcome, Scott. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it, and looking forward to doing our class. All right, so my class is on health insurance. We ran the class in the spring, in the fall, and it was pretty well received, which I'm excited about, and we're going to do it again this year. We're going to talk about why employers in the United States are the ones that deliver most of the health insurance to most of us. And we're going to get a lot into Medicare. And one of the most fun classes that we have one day is dedicated to would national healthcare work and all of the interested parties that go with that. It becomes a really fun discussion. And we do our best to make what is often a difficult subject for a lot of people, an expensive subject, as entertaining as we can. And we go through real life examples for people that I've worked with. I've got 25 years history in working in health insurance, and this is my second semester working with the senior college. I really want to thank Jennifer for inviting me back. I really do appreciate it. We have a lot of fun. It's 6 to 8 weeks. I forget exactly how many weeks we have, but we go through things like what's a deductible, what's a copay, what's co-insurance, how to shop for your own Medicare, how to shop for prescription plans, why some prescriptions are more expensive than others, and how to manage that process. But then we also get into a lot of the politics of health insurance and why there's insurance companies, employers, governments, hospitals, providers, drug companies, all these different interested parties, and how they would be affected if we went to a nationalized healthcare system. And I challenged the group to figure out if I'm for it or against it at the start of the class. And then we challenged me again at the end to see if I'm for or against it at the end. And in both times, we're all equally confused. So it's a fun discussion. You'll walk out of the class much more informed on how to shop for your own health insurance here in Massachusetts specifically. So it does have some pragmatism as well to it, but it's really more about understanding it better. And next time you get into a interested discussion at a water cooler or a fire pit, you'll be a lot more informed. So looking forward to another class. Starts next Thursday, I believe. Yeah, 4 to 5 o'clock, I think it is, on Thursdays. Full Zoom, be recorded as well. And we look forward to challenging questions.
Thank you so much, Scott. I want to say to the audience, I was skeptical when you were referred to me. I thought, oh, who wants to take a class on health insurance? Anytime a class is referred, I just go with it. And the reviews on Scott's class last semester warmed my heart. Every single person said, wow, who would have thought health insurance could be fun? This guy made it fun. I would take anything with him. It was interesting. I would highly recommend it. I mean, people were effusive in their compliments to you, Scott, and that's why we brought you right back to offer it via Zoom, because last semester it was offered in person, so it was limited to those people that could take it in person. So we're really excited to bring this course to the masses at Senior College. It does start next Thursday, January 26th, 2023. It starts at 3:30.
Exactly.
3:30. So yeah, we're really excited. Thank you so much, Scott. Great to see you.
Thank you. I do have to step off. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Talk to
Have
you
a good
soon.
day. Yeah, better.
Okay, so up next we have Tyra. Welcome, Tyra. You have a couple of courses to talk about with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. My name is Tyra Mitchell. I am a Maine native, but I have lived in Thailand, Brazil, Japan, and Guyana. So I love traveling. And for me, specifically the course on endurance, Shackleton's expedition, is a lifelong interest. I'm a winter hiker, I'm a boater, and I have always been fascinated with Shackleton's obsession with getting to the South Pole, which he never actually was able to achieve. So this class, Endurance, and Endurance is the boat that Shackleton used. He named it after his family motto, which is by endurance we conquer. And they set out in 1914. And so we are going to have a discussion-based class around short videos. There are lots of resources. I will start by sharing all the resources so people can dig in as much as they want to, but just we'll be talking, at a basic level in the class about the story and following the major events of Shackleton's expedition and really comparing and contrasting to life lessons that are meaningful to us even today in the modern world. Lessons of survival, tenacity, leadership. His work has been widely studied as a leadership model for how to build teams, how to motivate people. And so even in our work life, our personal life, I think this class is great for anyone who's an outdoor adventurer, anybody who loves to travel, or anyone who's just interested in a really amazing story, probably the greatest survival story ever in history. So I'm really hoping that we will I'm not a Shackleton expert, I'm a Shackleton enthusiast, and I hope to persuade several other people to join me in the fandom of Shackleton's pretty amazing, harrowing experience. And we're gonna meet on Wednesdays, starting on January 25th, Wednesday, 4:30 to 5:50. So that is the endurance class. Do you want me to talk about the second class?
Yeah, mine as well. Yeah, we have time.
So I'm actually a real estate agent by trade. My background is in sociology and education, but I have been a lifelong learner myself, and I have a lot of little fascinating interests. So besides hiking in the winter and being in cold environments, I love to garden. That's what I do. These are the two things I do. I hike in the winter, I garden in the summer. And I'm a master gardener in Maine. I have been doing that for years. I teach classes on gardening. And the class that I'm offering, it starts in February 17th to March 24th from 12 to 1:20 on Fridays, is called Gardening for Life, Exploring the Lifelong Benefits of Gardening. And we will talk about, it will be a discussion-based class also, using maybe some articles and science and research-based evidence about how our gardening can affect our mental health, our physical health, how we can develop a spiritual or meditation practice around gardening. For people who can't sit still for 20 minutes, but they could go out and garden, they could have a meditation practice. We would talk about the environmental benefits of being a gardener and how really community gardens are changing the landscape of cities and bringing people together, especially during COVID. There was a huge burst of gardening during that time when people were home and they had the ability to spend more time in their yards and wanted to do that to relieve stress or to grow their own food as supply chains were disrupted. Yeah, I'm excited about both my passions.
I am so excited. I know you obviously through our shared learning experience and a previous experience, and I just know you as being a very dynamic, interesting person. So I'm really excited for people to be able to experience you as a facilitator in these two very different and interesting topics. So it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, last but certainly not least, is, we have Shelley. Shelley, are you here? Welcome back. Shelley, you are muted.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. I'm Shelley Leahy, and last semester I had the pleasure of teaching a journaling class on Zoom to a number of seniors, and I thought it went really well, and had the opportunity to actually meet some of them for lunch afterwards, which was really, it was really nice to actually see who these women were. This semester, I'm going to be teaching in Easton at the Council for the Aging beginning in April, and it's a class in creative writing. And what I'm going to do, basically, it's just to learn both fiction, nonfiction. It's going to be based on life experiences. I will give them prompts, and we will go from there with like different stories that they will talk about. You know, they will have time to write, and then you know, evaluate, you know, both feedback from both the students that are there and myself. And so it's more of a discussion-based class, just like the other one was, but this time it will be in person, and I'm really looking forward to it. And my experience, I think, I don't know if I mentioned it, I have 40 years experience in higher education. I work both at Suffolk University and Stonehill College. It's my last for 30 years. I was an instructor. I taught students how to learn. I did that for 30 plus years. And I was also a counselor and worked with many populations. I worked with continuing ed for a while, and then traditional age students. So I love teaching. I love getting together with people and having discussions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shelley. We're excited. I know that you really are a proponent of the in-person experience, so I'm so glad that we were able to make it happen and have you be over there in Easton. And I think we'll have a great experience with your class over there. And yeah, like you mentioned, you know, that you had lunch with your class. You know, part of the senior college, the benefit of it is this opportunity for socialization. You know, so many of us, especially during the pandemic, were so isolated, and maybe you lost touch with some people that you were previously in touch with. A woman told me last semester when I was at the Bridgewater Public Library that through senior college, she bumped into a woman that she had known like from 15, 20 years ago. They were in like a knitting class or something, and they reconnected at senior college, and this was pre-pandemic. And then throughout the pandemic, they basically created like a new best friend in each other, and they would go and sit in each other's yards, socially distanced all through the pandemic. And it was just the happenstance of bumping into one another at senior college, which rekindled their friendship. And I've heard so many other stories of about people that have made new friendships and have, you know, made friendships with our instructors and had social experiences and golf outings and all kinds of fun things with instructors. So I just encourage you to, you know, participate, and also think of it as a way, if you're interested in meeting new people, this is a great way to do it. I am truly joyed when I see that happening, because I think that's just as important as the learning. So we're doing great for time. If there's questions, you're welcome to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask the questions. If you're shy and you want to put them in the chat, you can do that too. Go ahead, Ellen.
You know, I'm not shy. Just a question. How is your registration going? How many people have registered so far?
Well, I don't want to jinx it, but it's our best semester we've ever had. We had our best opening day. Previously, our best opening day was March 2020, or February or January 2020. So we were like gearing up. We had really grown, and we had the first day we opened registration in January 2020, we had 50 registrations, and I almost died. I was so excited. We only had planned in-person classes. And of course, then that all changed. We had to cancel everything due to the pandemic. This semester, the first day we opened registration, we had 79 registrations in the first day. It was like nearly brought me to tears. I was so excited. And now, as of before this call, we're up to 173. So we're really trying to get to 250 this semester. I mean, for us to be at 173 before the semester's even started is phenomenal for us. But there's senior colleges out there that have like thousands of members. And, you know, my goal eventually is to get us to 500. But if we get to 250 this semester, I think that would be really meaningful, especially since the winter spring semester is always a lot bigger and longer than the fall semester because we kind of go all the way to June. So this would be the semester for you to tell a friend or family member about it because we have 50 courses. I mean, that's just unheard of. We have a couple special events. So go ahead, Evie, and then Jim.
Okay. I miss all my friends from Happy Yappy Hour. Are we going to have one?
Certainly are. Elise has been diligently planning Happy Yappy Hour. Elise, can you give us an update on when it is? And you'll be sending out an email, I'm sure, about all the details, but when does it start?
All right, so it'll be Fridays from 6 to 7 p.m. I think we're going to start it on February 10th. It'll be every other week.
Yay. So look for an email from that, only for members of senior college. So if you haven't joined, you have to join. That's just a fun, free Zoom happy hour. You know, you can bring your coffee or tea, and I know that people have a blast. So
sometimes it's a glass of wine.
Perfect.
We have a wonderful, happy time. Our subjects go from pets to political to whatever. It doesn't matter.
Excellent. Yep, we brought that back. I'm so excited.
Good.
Go ahead, Jan.
I was just wondering, Jen, a couple of the classes have limited availability. The instructor book club classes, basically. So how will we know whether or not we will be in the class? Because I'm assuming not everybody will get that Zoom link, or will everybody?
Everyone gets the Zoom link, but it'll be on the honor system. So if it's still open now and you're able to check the box, that means the class is still open. So if you signed up for any of those classes, then you're in.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't think we're quite. I think we're quite hitting the cap in Nan's class, right, Elise? Like it's just kind of happening right today, this week. So we'll probably be closing that class. So if you want to get into Nan's book club class, I would encourage you to go back and click that link today because it's going to close basically soon. But yeah, so if it's still clickable, that means it's still open. We'll close the link to register once it's closed.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah, good question. Okay, well, I'll see you all soon. We do have a couple of events coming up. We have a final Ask the Scholar event. We have another one of these info sessions coming up next Monday night at 6 p.m. So check the website for that. And meanwhile, if you have any questions about senior college, you can email us or give us a call anytime. It was great to see you all. Thank you.